Hi everyone, welcome to game 15 of the match between Emanuel Lasker and Frank Marshall. Now, it's black to move in this position, and I'd like you guys to pause your video and figure out what move should black play. Alright, I'm going to show you the answer now. So, if we take a look at this position, we realize something. A key difference in white's position and black's position that you always need to recognize when you're looking at a chess position. The white king is stuck in the center and will require at least two moves to castle. What does that mean? Well, as soon as you see something like that, you should be thinking, how do I open up the chess position as fast as possible? And basically to open lines against that king before it gets castled. Lasker is aware of these concepts and plays the best move, pawn to c5, trying to enact a pawn trade to open lines against that king. And after pawn takes d5, which I'm not sure was the best move, pawn takes d4, suddenly we have the open e-file. Rook e8, rook e3, take, knight f6. King is still in the center, and we still have threats like knight e4. So bishop e2, knight e4 was played. Queen to d3, and now black has a very strong move. Can you guys see it? Feel free to pause your video. And note that there wasn't much to do here for white, because if he plays a simple move like this, well, now his king's just stuck in the center. He can't castle because of the pin. So he was trying to push the knight away. But after bishop to f5, white is just in trouble. And white's idea was to castle, because if knight takes knight, rook takes f5. And if queen takes d2, rook takes f5 again, or queen takes d2 first. But black simply has knight to g3. After rook takes bishop, knight takes, and if queen takes knight, we take on d2. And therefore, yeah, white does have a pawn for the exchange, but our rook in the c-file is very strong. And black is still doing quite well in this position. White should have some compensation because of the extra pawn and the nice central pawns. However, he doesn't play it so well. Like, for instance, now he needs to go queen to f3. Instead, he plays the move queen to g3 with the idea of queen takes queen, pawn takes. Then these passed pawns might really become annoying. Also, the idea that white could take on b5. But after queen to g3, black has a strong move. Queen to f6. And why is that move so strong? Well, let's say white plays e5. Pause your video and tell me what move would you play here for black. And if you said knight to e2 check, you would be right. Because after bishop takes, rook c1, it's going to be checkmate. So suddenly black has this really strong tactic, and we're threatening d4, and we're threatening d6. And so basically white's position is falling apart. That's why queen f3 was much stronger. And actually, white has some chances here. I mean, black maybe didn't play ideally before this. But after queen g3, queen f6, it's just all over. Because we win this d pawn. Queen b6 is a strong move. Knight e6, pawn takes. And yeah, now white's knight is just not going to match up very well against our queen. Well, that's a strong move. Rook c8, pinning the knight, and white resigned. So after this, I don't know if the match was if he just gave up or what, but I mean, it's 8-0, and this was the last game of the match, and therefore Lasker remained the world champion. So what did we see in this match? Well, we saw a situation where one guy was thought to have a chance. I mean, in their tournament encounters, Marshall did all right. He beat him in 1900. He drew him in 1903. And Lasker hadn't been playing so much in active chess matches in the last few years. But what you kind of saw was the kind of one-sided aggressive attacking approach versus the more measured overall well-rounded approach, and the well-rounded approach won very easily here. And he did a real good job taking advantage of Marshall's weaknesses and typical mistakes. So thanks everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed this match. I thought it was kind of interesting, the way he just completely dominated the match. I mean, it was a wonder to behold. I mean, 8-0 is no joke, and Marshall is a dangerous player. But by the end of the match, he was playing like a shell of himself. So thanks everyone for watching, and I will see you tomorrow with coverage of a new event. Bye-bye.